I have just put my latest plunder in the trophy case. I go back down into the dungeon only to have a thief steal my only light source. I'm attacked by some unseeable monster and sent straight to the gates of hell. ZORK 1 is a true classic. ZORK 1 is a text-based adventure game developed at MIT by Tim Anderson, Mark Blank, Bruce Daniels, and Dave Lebling. While it wasn't the first text-based adventure game, its wide release on personal computers solidified the genre's popularity and inspired countless other games. It's widely regarded as one of the best of its kind. As for me, I'm glad the people of early 80s had much more patience and free time than I have to truly appreciate this game and make it the classic it is. The goal of ZORK 1 is to explore and plunder an underground dungeon. The game is completely text-based, everything is described in prose, and you interact with the game with your own writing. Making commands allows you to do a variety of things, from taking objects to smelling skeletons. The game replicates the feeling of having a dungeon master at your side. They describe every location and monster in the game in great, well-written detail. I especially like the way the game describes fights with monsters. It makes what could have been a static experience into something exciting. The prose allows you to construct a vision of the game's world with your own imagination. This lends the game's world a similar level of intimacy to reading a book. Adding to the experience is the fact that the game's dungeon master is kind of a snarky person. They love making fun of you for doing something stupid. Attack door. Sword. Fighting a wooden door? What, is the door gonna throw hands? The puzzles force you to think outside the box. I decide to listen to the Cyclops blocking my path and hear that his stomach is rumbling. That means I can feed him lunch to get him out of my way. However, there's a secret way of getting past him where you type Odysseus, making the Cyclops run in fear. These kinds of logic puzzles, along with the fun Easter eggs, is ZORK at its best. I also like how you can make your own fun by seeing how much treasure you can collect in one playthrough, or try to beat the game in as little moves as possible. Cyclops room. This door has an exit on the northwest, and a staircase leading up. A Cyclops who looks prepared to eat horses, much less mere adventurers, blocks the staircase. From his state of health and the bloodstains on the walls, you gather that he is not very friendly, though he likes people. Oh. Take Cyclops out on date. There. Maybe if I tell it, maybe if I explain what I mean by date, maybe it'll get it. Okay, never mind. Doesn't want to listen. Okay, how about talk to... Maybe I was being too forward. But these moments of cleverness are unfortunately surprisingly infrequent. Oftentimes the game likes to waste your time with puzzles that involve trial and error. Listen to me navigating this maze. Does it sound like I'm having fun? Oh, great. The game has a habit of failing to communicate crucial information to the player. The game shows you that you can climb up things like trees, but it doesn't show you that you can move diagonally on the cardinal directions, which you need to do to exit the maze. There's no indication that you must put plundered treasure in the trophy case to advance the game. While the descriptions of environments and actions are a key part of the game's essence, it's also its biggest weakness. Without visuals, it can often feel like you're stumbling forward through the dark. It took me like 5 minutes to figure out how to get in the house. You'll need to remember the combinations of directions needed to get to where you want to go, especially with things like the aforementioned maze, which you'll have to go through multiple times. Either that or you'll have to draw your own map, or look up a guide. This might not be an issue for the neurotypical, but for people like me with ADHD, it poses a significant obstacle. Much of the game's challenge relies on memorization and visualization. For someone who struggles with working memory, challenges are made more frustrating. It doesn't help when the game sometimes reminds you where exits in the room are when you look around, and sometimes it doesn't. It also doesn't help when the game also contradicts itself. Sometimes this can be funny, like when the game refers to a painting as stunningly beautiful, but when you go to look at it, the game tells you that there's nothing special about it. You just told me that it's a painting of unparalleled beauty. Okay. Then you try to pick up a rug, and the game tells you it's too heavy to be picked up. You would think that doing anything with the rug is a lost cause, right? But no, you were supposed to slide or move the rug to reveal the trapdoor so you can get to the actual part of the game. Okay, so I said to pick up the rug. It told me it was too heavy to pick up. Here, look. Rug is extremely heavy and cannot be carried. Does that tell you, does that tell the player, oh, I shouldn't mess around with this thing. I shouldn't even bother with anything having to do with the rug. Okay, noted. The player reading this is not gonna think you can move the rug, that it's just completely irrelevant. But no, here, great effort. Rug move outside. Dusty cover the closed drop door. Now the game can begin. Gotta be kidding me. Playing ZORK 1 made me realize how early games were able to capture the imaginations of players. These games both embraced and tried to exceed the limitations of the hardware. It didn't need dazzling graphics. All it needed was a good story and a way to make the player feel like they're making an impact on the world around them. However, ZORK 1 has not aged gracefully. There are better adventure games that have come out since, ones that better respect the player's time. ZORK 1 is a landmark title, but bigger and better landmarks have come out since.